Well, should suspected murderers be sitting in class with your children at school? A recent Fox 45 News investigation has exposed that it does happen.
Well, now the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Human Services tells Project Baltimore's Chris Papst the system could do a better job of keeping kids safe.
When did you first become aware that Walter Martinez was enrolled in taking classes in 2 Maryland public schools?
When we got first asked as a department to comment on a case.
Asked by whom?
Probably you.
Maryland Department of Human Services Secretary Rafael Lopez says he learned the news of an MS-13 gang member and murder suspect attending 2 local high schools when most everyone else did.
The suspected killer was allowed to attend a public school
In September, when Project Baltimore reported it.
Do you believe the system is working properly?
I think the quick answer to that is we can always do better. Always.
As the Secretary of DHS, Lopez oversees the state's foster care system, a role he assumed in January 2023, just days after Aberdeen police arrested Walter Martinez for murdering Kayla Hamilton in Harford County.
The life of a young woman was taken, and that is egregious.
In July 2022, months before Lopez took office, Hamilton was murdered in this mobile home in Aberdeen. That day, according to charging documents, police identified Martinez as the primary suspect. As they waited for DNA results, Martinez was placed in foster care with Child Protective Services, which is under DHS. Even though Aberdeen police told CPS Martinez was dangerous, the then 16-year-old was placed in 2 foster homes and was then enrolled in 2 high schools, first Lansdowne and then Edgewood. And neither school was told that Martinez, who's now serving 70 years in prison for murder, was a threat.
We have to do better as departments, as agencies, to increase our communication, hold each other accountable, and ultimately be accountable to the community.
Lopez could not speak specifically to Martinez being enrolled in school. He was not the secretary at the time, but he did speak to how he runs his department today.
We would play our active role in partnership with schools, school officials, MSDE, the courts, and law enforcement. We would disclose what the court would allow us to disclose, or we are ordered to disclose from the court.
If a similar situation were to happen now, it would be handled differently?
That's not what I said. We would follow the law.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out if the law was followed in 2022. And I know you said you can't.
You could make that judgment call.
Under his administration, Lopez told Fox 45 News, all information about a foster child that can legally be disclosed to a provider or a school is disclosed. If a child is charged with a crime that is classified by the state as a reportable offense, Lopez says, it's the responsibility of the arresting police department to alert the school. But remember, Martinez had not yet been charged when he enrolled.
The role of the Maryland Department of Human Services is not to be a law enforcement agency. It is to care for children and families and to make sure that their well-being is as safe and healthy as possible.
But what about the children inside Lansdowne and Edgewood High School?
Understood.
Do you have a responsibility to those kids?
Absolutely, we do, to all children. And at the end of the day, law enforcement has Maryland law on its side to enforce and to disclose reportable offenses today to schools.
If you know that a foster child is a gang member, or if you know a child is a suspect in a crime, it is not DHS's responsibility when enrolling that child in a school to tell the school.
That's not what I said.
Okay.
We would disclose as much information as we're allowed to by law.
When Martinez was in foster care, the Secretary of DHS was Lourdes Padilla, a position she held from 2017 to 2023. Padilla is no longer a government official. We are working to contact her.
Could communication be strengthened amongst those parties? Law enforcement officials, local police, sheriffs, state's attorneys, judges, DHS officials, social workers, parents? Absolutely. Much more can be done. Children have the right to feel safe in their schools, all children.
Fox 45 News will stay on this story, and we will keep you updated as we work to try to contact and get answers from the former Secretary of DHS. I'm Chris Papst, and this is Project Baltimore. I'm Chris Papst. Thanks for watching. Here's another story to watch.
Also, if you have a story idea, please send us a message.